mixin', fixin' for another big game. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And there's no substitute for experience in this league. And what it usually leads to, a whole lot of confidence. Andy Dalton is sharp with where to go with the football now. I think he sees reads before they actually even happen. He can sense them now, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
Dalton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out wide they have A.J. Green, who can run every route you want on the route tree and take the top over defense with his speed, and has the length to go over the top of people to catch the ball. But maybe the most impressive thing about him, the only wide receiver ever to be a Pro Bowler in his first 7 years in the NFL.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. On 3rd down, Akers. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. On the run, it's McNichols. Shutting defenders at the 15. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The numbers for Mixon last week, very, very strong, well over 100 yards.
He should get the ball early and often here, too. I mean, when you're riding the performance of last week into this game, his confidence level has to be off the charts. Go ahead and keep feeding him.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he gets it down to the 32.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Mixon with a first down carry. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson. On 2nd down, Akers. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. That time a 9-play drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing, Mariota, and that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Green once again the intended receiver, and it's second down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Check. Fresno.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And it'll be Titan football. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 26. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And shedding through the tackle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Let's go.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Throwing on second down, Mariota. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Geno Atkins, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here we go.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Andy Dalton now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield. But it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. So Dalton now. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And Dalton to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Andy Dalton now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. This will be Dalton again. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. But it looked like the Titans were able to recover, and indeed, they will keep possession of the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's McNichols. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on 3rd down. $10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Titans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing is Mariota, and he locates Walker, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Now left side on the swing pass, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll toss it to McNichols. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. The Titans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, Dawkins. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
52.
They go play action. Mariota. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Check 52's to Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now it's McNichols. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
Get him, boys.
On second down now, Dawkins. He will push his way down to about the 14. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. Complete. Smith has it. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. From the gun, Mariota. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Now Mariota. And Walker has it. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw Mariota. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? I mean, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. Mariota. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Delaney Walker. His 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it ends with a Tennessee score. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here we go with a player spotlight, and we shine that spotlight on Andy Dalton. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Check 55 to Mike. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On first down, Mixon. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. From just shy of midfield, Dalton over the middle, and it's incomplete. And the Bengals on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 28.
Check.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
3 down.
Throwing again. Dalton. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Another chance for Dalton. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, some credit there to A.J. Green because he's so tough to cover. Sometimes he causes those penalties.
And he's one of the more difficult guys to cover in the NFL because of his ability to do just about anything on a route. Hard to do. Creates a lot of pass interference calls.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Jarrell Casey in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Hauschka now for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A second down throw here for Mariota. Walker with a grab, left side.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
On third down, Mariota. He finds Humphreys. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Check three, check three, check three.
They'll run on first down. Dawkins, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Mariota throwing complete there to Walker. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Mariota again. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing, Mariota. This will be caught at about the 6. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. To the air again, Mariota. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Delaney Walker with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Dalton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Dalton now to pass. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. First and 10 for Dalton. Green brings it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This will be fielded at the 8.
Come on, baby.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's been the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, who's led the way. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Time to look now with our spotlight at the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down. Again, it's McNichols as they stay on the ground. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that will be incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Play fake. Here's Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Joe Mixon. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? Got his man. It's Eifert. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and
a big loss here as he's taken down. Harold Landry in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Let's go, baby.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out?
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Geno Atkins in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route and able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. 3rd and long here for Mariota. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, Titans, gain of 12. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Again, it's Mariota. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Here we go. Here we go.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Mariota now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10 on the ground. This is McNichols, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. A gain of 3, 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Mariota. It's caught. Humphreys, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
To throw again on 2nd down, Dalton. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Andy Dalton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Mixon. He's got the first down and more inside the 40.
Holding offense.
That was on the veteran Cordy Glenn.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Dalton, he completes it to Boyd. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 33. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Mike's by 4. 6 man.
Here's a run with Mixon. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. So they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert? And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Here's Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, If you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. SOS.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 26-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check line 54. Line 54. Switch up.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there and a Bengal first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The cornerback, it's Logan Ryan who brings him down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. So Dalton now. And he slings one that's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A draw play for Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Hey, check right. Watch 85. Watch the run.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Dalton. Open man there is Malone.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
He finds his running back, Mixon. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Throwing, Dalton. And the catch good, it's Eifert. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a gain of 5, and just like that, it's 3rd down. 3rd and 4, and this crowd urging on their defense. They're up and making noise. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Mixon stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw here, Dalton. Short pass, Eifert on the receiving end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 3rd and 2 for Dalton. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
So possession goes over here on the punt. On the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 4th quarter in Philadelphia, and the Eagles have extended their lead in that ball game. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Mariota, and it's incomplete. Jeremy McNichols, the running back, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mariota, and Walker has it. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. Again, it's Mixon. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now the penalty, a big assist to this offense. Now it's 3rd and 3. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Dalton sets up play action. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. They look to throw on 3rd with Dalton. He gets this one to Boyd. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Subsequent gains of 3, 4, and now 5 yards. Good enough for the first down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st down, Mixon. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's get that ball, Let's get that ball right here.
Big spot, Andy Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Let's go, ball, yeah.
Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So now Mariota and the Titans down by 8. 1:37 remaining. The late fumble gives him unexpected new life as they come up 1st down. Back to throw. And Walker with it over the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They'll look to throw. Walker with a grab, left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, You can't have those kind of plays.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The intended receiver, Taywan Taylor, but it'll be second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Smith. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now Mariota on 4th down. And that's caught by Smith. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for Cincinnati, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Titans, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for